What's up, YouTube? I'm here to talk about a few little tiny bits of things you might be interested in, maybe not, who knows. Closing of Judgment Day, everybody knows it's wrapped up now. I got a little bit of news to share with you. I don't know if I said I'd make a WWE news thing, but, you know, the forums are closed on some of the things I was going to talk about. So I can't seem to find them anymore, and I don't really remember them. But, I know Undertaker's out for knee surgery, or not knee surgery, hip surgery. So he's supposed to return within 2 months, something like that. Can't wait to have him back. It's gonna be great having him back. Be a while until he does get back. They said he'd be back sometime, maybe late this summer, 2 months, something like that. So I'm gonna say something like him returning to SummerSlam, maybe, maybe earlier. Who knows? Shawn Michaels, haven't got shit on Shawn. I haven't found shit. Mr. Kennedy will be returning June 22nd on Monday Night Raw. Can't wait to see him back in action. So, one of the biggest things I have right now is on Ric Flair. We all seen him return at Judgment Day to come back and, you know, help Batista out. Well, there's been a lot of talk about that. I read up on some of the things that Flair has been talking about. And Flair's been sending text messages. He sent some text messages to his friends talking about how he wants to return back to WWE, and he says that he can do better. And he's been watching Raw for a long time and watching all the wrestlers, and he says that he can do about what they can do, and he can do it better. And he said he's sick of just getting signing autographs for people, and he wants back in the show. And Ric Flair, I think he's going to come back. He texts Vince McMahon talking about how he wants back, and he can bring the brand number up, and make WWE a little bit better. I don't know what to think about that. Ric Flair returning, he would have to be something with Batista or Triple H in. There would have to be something going on, like Legacy together, and then Evolution back together, having Batista, Randy Orton. I talked about Batista slipping into heel mode, but, if Ric Flair actually comes back to the WWE, I think they're going to maybe recreate Evolution, maybe this time adding Shawn Michaels, having Batista, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H would be pretty badass, but I'm not sure about that. That might not happen, I doubt it will. But Ric Flair is coming back pretty much. It's pretty much done said. Jeff Hardy's going to be retiring, so they're going to need a few more stars, and I think Ric Flair could be a big help on that. I liked Rick, but I think he put up some pretty good damn matches. But as far as the show really going, I didn't think he was that great on it. Like, I didn't think he was that good on making storylines and shit. The greatest match I was thinking of with Ric Flair was at WrestleMania 24, Shawn versus Ric Flair. Of course, I knew Ric Flair was going to lose that match. I didn't want to see him retire. I think he does make some good matches, but if he's going to be in something, I think it should be more of a tag team type of thing going on. And it's hard to say if he belongs more in retirement or back in the WWE. I mean, he's old now, he's really old. And that's like putting Vince McMahon back into the WWE, the wrestler, It's just not, gonna make that much of an excitement for fans. Maybe some big, huge Ric Flair fans that make a lot of excitement, but for me, it's not gonna do it, because he's not gonna be a main eventer. He's just not gonna be in the, main events. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't mind seeing him be, wrestling for a title. I really wouldn't. I think it'd be a damn good match if he did, a WWE Championship match or a World Heavyweight Championship match. I think he would make a good, competitor. Like Randy Orton versus Ric Flair for the WWE Championship. I actually think that would make a pretty good match. I mean, Ric Flair has the ability to make it a damn good match. Even though he's going to lose, he still has the ability to make it a really fucking great match worth watching, Most of the time, that, like Randy Orton, most of us knew that Randy Orton was going to win this match, but they didn't want to make it a good match. They didn't make it a good match. They made Randy Orton slapping the referee. That fucked the whole thing up. So that made it a terrible match. But at least Ric Flair could make it a match that's like a 5-star match. Just like Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Everybody pretty much knew Taker's gonna win, but Shawn Michaels still made it a fucking great match, and so did Taker. You know, it's not just, you know, some people today, they think that when the wrestlers go out there to wrestle, that they're just in there, you know, like a dance. They have to do every move scripted, you know, made on the WWE. That's not true. They go in there, and when they wrestle, they're doing their own thing. You know, maybe a few things are scripted to where they have to do it, you know, like at the ending of the episode or the ending of the match, they have to do it. But the rest of the shit, while they're in there, they're not really, you know, fighting, but they're doing their own thing. They're making the match. They're the ones that make the history, you know. It's not made by scripters in the back and shit. Maybe, you know, the storylines are made scripted and shit, but the match isn't. So it takes a lot of talent to make a really good match, and that's why I'm saying Ric Flair has that talent to do that. And I think in some ways it would be good to have him back, but in more ways it's probably good to, you know, let him go. But I'm not sure. Either way, I'm gonna be alright. I think if I had to choose, I'd like to have Flair back, you know, just for the hell of it, to have more people. I think it'd make a lot. Also, Randy Orton, I've read some things about him, and, you know, he's talking about his match with Triple H at WrestleMania, talking about how, you know, they don't really feel like they've done a great match. He didn't feel like he put on a great match, but he feels that he's already made a huge name for himself, and he has. You know, he's the youngest person to win the World's Championship. He's already, you know, made a really good name for himself. You know, he's done a lot of good matches. I like Randy Orton. I like him, and I think he will be inducted to the Hall of Fame, and I'm happy with him. But I've heard a lot of things saying that he's going to have a long reign. That's one of the things he said that's going to make him even bigger, is by the championship reign he's going to be having, because he's just going to, you know, have it for a long time, and he's, you know, he's talking about how he's happy with that, and that's going to make his name that much bigger by keeping it so long. So don't look forward to seeing him lose it too quickly, because I really think he's going to have it just like John Cena did for like over a year or something. So I'm pretty sure Randy Orton's going to keep it for a damn good time, especially him talking about him going to have a championship reign, you know, for a long time. So him saying that means it's going to be a while before he loses that damn thing. So, and it's not no 3 or 4 months we're talking about, because he had it 3 or 4 months back at, you know, a year or two ago, and that wasn't a championship reign for him. Anyways, this is me out. This is my first episode of WWE News. Next time it's going to be a lot better, more interesting, when I find some better shit. Thank you for watching, and if you didn't,